Good morning, Taft Wizards. It's Mrs. Williams, your principal. Today is Monday, May 18th, 2020. And let's start our day by standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Archer. And the weather for today, it looks a little overcast, but I did check the weather and it doesn't look like it's going to rain today. This whole week actually looks pretty nice, not much rain, and it should be pretty good temperature-wise, so enjoy to get outside. This weekend was beautiful. I hope you got outside and you had some good time in the sunshine. I know I had a great weekend. So this week, boys and girls, I just wanted to let you know that Friday is a school day. It is Memorial Day weekend, but on Friday, the teachers are going to take it a little bit lighter. They're not going to assign necessarily any new work that requires to be handed in for the most part. You might have some choice boards to do or some practicing of skills like reading, writing, or math. You might have a Memorial Day activity to do, or you might have some time to finish up some work from the week. But I just wanted you to know that Friday is an official school day, but it'll be a lighter, easier school day. And Monday definitely is not a school day, next Monday for Memorial Day. And also this week, I just wanted to let you know that I did schedule our teachers to come in for a day. So it's going to take about 2 weeks or more to get all of the teachers in because we can only have a couple at a time. They're going to start packing up your things and their things for the summer. So sometime in June, we're going to have a schedule for parents to come in and pick up your things. And that'll also be a time for you to drop off anything that belongs to the school. But again, that's not until June. So if you find any library books, classroom books, the fifth graders who have instruments that belong to the district, things like that, you'll be able to drop off, and then you'll be able to pick up your things as well as anyone who ordered yearbooks. Those should be in sometime in June. So I'll let you know more about that as we get closer. So our acceptance quote for today, it says, don't try to change people, accept them for who they are, and then decide what role they should have in your life. So remember, we can't change other people. We need to accept them for who they are and then decide how important they are in our life, right? If it's somebody that you don't get along with, then maybe they're not a big part of your life. But if it's somebody that really is kind to you, then you want them to be a big part of your life. So let's do that. So the book I wanted to read today, it's actually going to take me a couple days to read. It says, It Could Always Be Worse by Margot Zemak. And I thought this would be a good book to read because it teaches us a lesson in appreciating what we have. And actually, this is quite familiar to those of us that are home with our families. So it could always be worse, and I'll read it in 4 parts. So today is part 1. And I really like the paintings. They look like watercolor paintings. And this is a folk tale, so it takes place long, long ago. You'll see. And it is a once upon a time story. All right. So once upon a time in a small village, a poor, unfortunate man lived with his mother, his wife, and his 6 children in a little one-room hut. Because they were so crowded, the man and his wife often argued. The children were noisy and they fought. Does that sound like any of your families? In the winter, when the nights were long and the days were cold, life was especially hard. The hut was full of crying and quarreling. One day, when the poor unfortunate man couldn't stand it anymore, he ran to the rabbi for advice. So he needs to get some advice. Holy Rabbi, he cried, things are in a bad way with me and getting worse. We are so poor that my mother, my wife, my 6 children, and I all live together in one small hut. We are too crowded and there is much noise. Help me, Rabbi. I'll do whatever you say. The rabbi thought and pulled on his beard. At last he said, Tell me, my poor man, do you have any animals? Perhaps a chicken or 2? Yes, the man replied. I do have a few chickens, also a rooster, and a goose. Ah, fine, said the rabbi. Now go home and take the chickens, the rooster, and the goose into your hut to live with you. "Yes, indeed, Rabbi," said the man, though he was a bit surprised. So he's doing what the rabbi's telling him to do because he trusts him. The poor, unfortunate man hurried home and took the chickens, the rooster, and the goose out of the shed and into his little hut. Interesting. And this is the village that he lives in. There's the shed and his hut. Oh dear. When some days or a week had gone by, life in the hut was worse than before. Now, with the quarreling and crying, there was honking, crowing, and clucking. There were feathers in the soup. The hut stayed just as small, and the children grew bigger. When the poor, unfortunate man couldn't stand it any longer, he again ran to the rabbi for help. So I wonder what's going to happen next. And I'll read you this part tomorrow. So boys and girls, just when you think that things are bad, they could always be worse. So this rabbi is trying to help him. I wonder if you can think about and predict what's going to happen. I bet you can. So the national holidays for today are a little odd. Today is Visit Your Relatives Day. So actually that's not odd. But remember that we're trying to keep our safe distance, so you can visit in the driveway. You could call them on the phone. You can FaceTime them. There's a lot of apps out there that you can use to do house party or Facebook Messenger, where you can video chat with your family, especially those that live far away. We can also send letters or cards to your family in the mail. It's also Dirty Dish Day. So what this means is you want to avoid making dirty dishes today. So try to eat food that doesn't need a dish, like fruit or vegetables where you don't need to eat on dishes. Or if you use paper dishes, then make sure that they're biodegradable. Or wash your dishes right away. Like if you have to use a dish, then make sure you wash it right away so no dishes stay in the sink. And the food for today is cheese souffle. So I don't think I've ever had a cheese souffle. It's a French dish, and it's mixed with beaten eggs and custard. And when you bake it, it rises and puffs up. So it's cheese souffle. But I don't suggest you make it because it sounds like you're going to need a lot of dishes to make that. Maybe you can order out some cheese souffle. I don't know where you would get that. So let's see. Signing off from Archer. Oh, he's yawning. Archer's a good boy. He had a great weekend. He loves to be outside. Right? And the guinea pigs. Oh, they're sharing each other's huts. Pip is inside Squeak's house. And Squeak is inside Pip's house. So boys and girls, enjoy your Monday. I will see you tomorrow.